Patrick Bet David of the Patrick Bet David podcast recently went on Jubilee. They have this Surrounded series. I'm pretty sure you guys have more than likely seen it. It's like one person versus a group of 20. Usually, for example, it would be maybe one Christian versus 20 atheists, and they would debate uh, between themselves. It's a rather dumb, in my opinion, it's a rather dumb sort of way they do it. But nevertheless, Patrick Bet David decided to sit down as the capitalist versus 20 communists. Now, it's always concerning to me hearing people that are in Western civilization defend communism, considering it's capitalism that allows them to actually be for communism in the first place. Because if they were in communism, I think they would be screaming for capitalism. But hey, far be it from me to tell these people the actual truth. But what this whole entire debate structure and the people that were there, it was rather sad because lots of these people are just victims. They're blaming a system that they themselves are actually able to make use of for themselves and their own benefits, but they choose not to. They choose rather to just complain and be a victim of their circumstance rather than use it for their own benefit. Look, we all have equal opportunity out there in the world to do something and make something of ourselves. You can have as much opportunity as you want. Believe it or not. It's up to you to make something of that. I started this podcast with nothing. I had just left real estate. I had nothing. Didn't know where I wanted to go. Had no idea what I wanted to do. I started this podcast as part of like my new film career that I was trying to get started. And it started completely different, by the way. It started with me just trying to review movies. And then it all changed. I worked my backside off. I still work my backside off to this very day to make video content, 3 videos a day, plus planning for the next day. And it's a continuous thing. It's day in, day out. I can't take holidays. I can't take breaks. If I was to do that, I need to plan everything in advance for you guys. It's not easy to do. But I made a commitment. I made a choice, and it's to work hard. And because of capitalism, I'm able to make something of it. Sure, I've got issues with our corrupt government that taxes us to billio here in Australia, but I am grateful for capitalism. There is a great of other amazing things about capitalism that these dingbats in the Jubilee thing don't fully understand or get. The victim class is one of the worst classes around. Stop complaining about something and actually do something with your life. You've been given an opportunity, more so than, say, somebody else. If you have been born in the West, you have been given an extra opportunity, and that is freedom. If someone was born in communism, for example, like Yemeni Park, you haven't read In Order to Live, you should definitely read that. Maybe all these people should actually read In Order to Live and see what it's like for someone growing up in communist North Korea, where a dictator rules. And the thing is, with these people, there was one particular woman that was talking about how, oh, we just haven't tried it yet. We haven't tried it. We have. In the West, we haven't, and there's damn well good reason we haven't, but we're getting very, very close to it at the moment with our current leaders. But in other countries, Cuba, Venezuela, North Korea, China, Russia, you've got dictators, communist leaders. And you don't see how their countries are turning out? You don't see how the people are crying out for freedom? No. Because in the West, they seem to think that it's a utopia to be part of communism or socialism. And they don't realize that their idol or their hero that they're worshipping, Karl Marx, was a nothing. He was a victim. He had so much opportunity, and what did he do with it? He complained. He was what you would call, you have Ben Shapiro's new book, Lions and Scavengers. Karl Marx was a bloody scavenger. All he did was beg for money. He never bathed, and that was probably his downfall in the very end, because he died of a disease, a very horrible death. And this is the man that these dingbats look up to because they think like they've got no hope. There's one particular man that I want to show you, and Brett Cooper's actually reacting to it, and she does a brilliant job reacting to it as well. So this is technically like Inception, a reaction of a reaction of a reaction. So it's my reaction, then Brett Cooper's reaction, and then Patrick Bet-David's reaction. So we're doing Inception today, people. I love it. So Patrick Bet-David is sitting down with this young guy, and he literally offers this guy to sit down and be interviewed for a job. He does that several times over the course of the debate, right? With a number of different people, not just giving them jobs, but offering to pay for their medical expenses. Only something that capitalism can really give you, right? But these people, nah, don't want it. Don't want any of that. And this young guy just being incredibly picky. And if I was an employee or an employer looking at this employee, I go, hell no. Why would I want to employ this guy? He's too picky. He's like, I would just get nothing but problems. I want someone that works hard. Yes, sir. No, sir. Work hard. Anyway, have a watch of this.
What do you have on your resume? Skill set. What do you offer?
Transportation expertise, logistics expertise.
You consider yourself a hard worker?
I mean, I feel like 80 hours a week.
That's a hard worker.
Sure.
How about we do this? How about I interview you and I give you a job? Would you move to Fort Lauderdale?
Ooh, man, that's Florida. Sure, why not?
Would you move to Fort Lauderdale?
Sure, why not?
How about you and I document this? After this, you come, I do an interview with you, and I give you a job. And let's see what you do 90 days later.
Okay, and I'll look up your company and all that kind of stuff, and I'll see it.
But you see what just happened
regardless,
right there? But watch what you just did.
Sure.
You just said you applied to 477 companies who's not gotten back to you.
Yeah.
A business owner who's hiring aggressively just made an offer to you. You said you're willing to move. Then you said, I'll look at it. You became selective.
I didn't say I'll look at it if you'd let me finish my sentence.
Go ahead. I want to hear it.
I would like to look into your company to see exactly what you guys do.
The attitude throughout this entire clip. Okay, now I'll look into it. Dude, do you actually care then about getting a job, or do you just care about being able to play the victim role, lament about not actually getting a job, but having the choice to be so selective, as PBD is saying? Oh, I don't want to move to Florida. Oh, I don't actually want to work hard. Yeah, I'm a hard worker. I can work 80 hours a week, but no, I don't know. I would have to look into your company. Obviously, being offered this opportunity, for growth, for mentorship, for a job, for money, goes against this image that he's painted in his head for what he wants his life to look like, for the victim that he is, for what he has to offer the world. He loves the fact that he gets the choice to be unemployed. He loves the fact that he gets to be this victim, which he is able to do because of capitalism. The thing that he allegedly hates so much, that is causing all of his problems. Like, dude, I'm sorry, at this rate, based on what I'm seeing in this video, you have caused the problem yourself. Because at some point, if you have applied to 477 jobs, you don't get to be selective anymore.
So apparently, this guy applied to 477 different job positions and not one of them got back to you. That is a lot of companies, by the way, to be reaching out to. And to be honest, I'm about the persistence model. The more things you put out there, the more that you're persistent, the more results you're more than likely going to get. It may not be the result that you want, but you're still doing it. You're still doing the thing. It's better than sitting down and going, oh, give me everything that I deserve, please. I have expertise in logistics and travel. Give it to me. I'm just going to receive all the opportunities here right now. No, you've got to go out there and you've got to apply. But it seems like this guy has applied and he's been really picky now because they've all gotten back to him. And he had PBD, man. If PBD interviewed me, and by the way, I've actually interviewed PBD on this podcast before he got mega famous. Great interview too. 30 minutes. He gave me 30 minutes of his time. It was fantastic. Loved it. And would definitely do it again. This time a lot longer because I got so many more questions for him. And I was like on the clock when I first did it, and he gave me a chance. So thank you, PBD, for that. And anyway, I had to buy like 20 versions of his book, Your Next 5 Moves, when that book came out. And I had no money at the time to do it. So it was stretch and a half, but I still did it, and I still got 30 minutes of his time. That's the lesson. What are you willing to do? If you had the opportunity to get a job with PBD, he's offering it to you, and you choose, nah, not going to do it. I mean, there's worse places to move to than Fort Lauderdale near PBD and his team. He literally offered to interview you. Would you move? Yeah, but I need to. No, mate, seriously, if you got someone like PBD willing to offer you a job or interview you, who can give you an amazing start to your life, probably even better, you take up the offer. You think that you've got nothing going for you, but you had something right now. And that's the whole attitude of these communists. They think that communism is going to be a lot better because it's shared. It includes you. So if you're not sharing with the group, you're considered useless. And so you're kicked out. Whereas in communism, if you're not contributing, you don't get kicked out. You don't get punished for it. You just get called lazy. But in communism, there are consequences. But hey, they don't look at communist Russia and what happened under Stalin of people that weren't contributing to society. You know where they were put? In the gulag. Oh, okay. Well, history doesn't know anything. Sure, history has everything recorded for us to learn from, but sure, the Bible says there's nothing new under the heavens, nothing new under the sun, right? This included. Human behavior is very commonplace, especially when it comes to these stupid ideals. Capitalism is a great thing. Democracy is a fantastic thing. Free markets is a fantastic thing. Sure, there are issues, but it's significantly better than the alternative, being communism. Just pointing that out. Brett said it. The thing that he hates so much that he's trying to destroy and trying to argue against having in society is the very thing that is setting him up and trying to help him. But he likes the selective nature. He likes the fact that he can be a victim because it's so much easier. Mate, you couldn't be a victim in communism. Let me just say that. But hey, you think that complaining about capitalism is the answer? I guarantee you, mate, you're going to find out very quickly if you were to move over and there was a woman that PBD offered to send her over, he would fund her journey to a communist country. And she's like, what communist country? And then PBD labeled out several: Cuba, Venezuela, China, Russia, North Korea. He would fund it for her. But of course, they end up freaking out. Oh, no. I guess in a democratic and a rather capitalist society, you're allowed to do this. But the problem is these people are now getting a much louder voice, and it's becoming concerning. It's becoming dangerous. So now you've got these same people that espouse communist ideals that latch on to the pro-Palestinian movement and they start infiltrating. So then you've got communist ideals spreading and spouting up in our very own government, censorship, control of the state, digital ID, those sorts of things. Taxes up the wazoo, man. It's only good for the government, not for the entirety. So yeah, you're starting to see what capitalism kind of used to be like. It's now changing, and not for the better. Anyway, well done to PBD for putting up with these dingbats. I mean, it says something about him. And he even said on the podcast today, I think with Julian Michaels, like as a father, he saw these young kids that are being led astray, and it's hard to see. It really is. It's sad. And it's like what I was saying in the previous video why people are leaning heavily towards these radical ideals and why they're leaning towards believing in radical Islam and defending them. It's easy because it's evil, because their mind is sick. Anyway, that's enough from me, but you guys take care, be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.